Thanks again for joining us. The overnight vehicle fire that almost spread to a house in Brooklyn Park on Monday is now being investigated as arson. The fire department got a call around 2:30 Monday morning that a vehicle was on fire and about to spread to a house. The fire was contained and extinguished in time, but now the fire department suspects this to be the result of arson. They urge anyone with information to contact the arson hotline. It's on your screen, 1-800-723-2020. The state is seeing a significant increase in drug overdose deaths. Drug overdose deaths increased 31% the first half of this year compared to the first half of last year. Pafua Yang joins us now with more on the local impact.
The Crystal Police Department says every year it seems like drug use goes up, and that includes all categories like marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and opioids. Deputy Chief Brian Hubbard says this year there's been 20 reported overdoses and 5 reported overdose deaths in the city of Crystal alone. The department didn't begin officially tracking these numbers until the end of last year, so there's really no official numbers to compare it to, but Hubbard says there's definitely been an increase. He adds that the pandemic could have been a factor too.
As people struggle, as you know, if you have, whether you're just struggling with life or whatever, or you're struggling with a mental illness or whatever, we often find people turning to chemicals as a coping mechanism. Well, certainly we know that the mental health, the anxiety, the depression that people have felt have increased during this time. And so it only goes to reason that you're going to see an increase in chemical use to try and help, for people trying to help themselves combat that.
Hubbard wants to remind people that if a person you're with is going through an overdose, you don't have to worry about calling 911. Both you and the person you're calling about are protected from any criminal prosecution. And if you or someone you know has a drug problem, Hubbard says call your local police station. They'll be able to provide you with some resources. Reporting in Crystal, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
The Maple Grove City Council this week approved plans to turn one of its neighborhood parks into a signature destination for youth baseball and softball tournaments. The $12.3 million plan includes building 4 ball fields to support youth baseball and fast-pitch softball. Both the infields and outfields will contain synthetic turf to allow for longer seasons. The project also includes LED lighting for all 4 fields and a new concession building. The project will also include park upgrades such as a new playground, an expanded ice skating area, and a much larger sledding hill. A large portion of the project will be paid for out of existing city funds. 20% of the ballpark complex will be paid for through a partnership with the Osseo Maple Grove Athletic Association. The Wayzata Post Office could be renamed for former Minnesota Representative Jim Ramstad, who died last month. Senator Amy Klobuchar and Representative Dean Phillips introduced legislation in the Senate and House on Tuesday to rename the post office in Ramstad's memory, and the rest of the Minnesota delegation quickly signed on. The post office sits on Minnetonka Avenue South and is in a building built in 1941. The building was almost put up for sale 10 years ago until a group of citizens rallied to save it. Ramstad served this area from 1991 to 2009, and the legislators say renaming the post office would be a fitting tribute to Ramstad's years of service. This week's Standout Student is not only a tremendous student and volunteer, you could say he has also angled his way into pursuing his #1 hobby. Today, Neil Persley introduces us to Cole Abbott, a senior at West Lutheran High School.
And then we'll get you checked in on the computer.
The checking in is the easy part for Cole Abbott, who helped organize the most recent blood drive at West Lutheran High School in Plymouth, where he is enjoying his senior year. A lot of the organizational work went in on the front end.
It's a really nice way to just support the community because people are physically seeing and they realize that they are helping out the others around them instead of just bringing in their money and giving it to a charity.
When Cole isn't volunteering in some capacity as a member of National Honor Society, there's a good bet you'll find him pursuing his #1 hobby.
During the summer, my favorite thing is fishing. So I'll do a lot of that and fish tournaments.
He's the only person at this school that likes fishing more than I do.
Cole isn't just a casual fisherman. He takes pride in honing his skill and even organized the school's fishing team when he was a freshman.
We took first in conference this past year, and we've won a couple of them.
And I actually come to him for advice on how to catch fish, which I never expected ever.
Cole's faith walk at West Lutheran has also made him a fisher of men.
It bubbles out of him, and he's one of those kids that can talk about his faith and his faith life so authentically and so genuinely.
West Lutheran, they've always been accommodating to what you believe, and they obviously teach what they think, but then they also allow you to express what you believe, and they'll talk through you with your ideas and help you support them or tell you what different pastors think.
Cole is a straight-A student who is looking to pursue a career in dentistry. For the moment, though, he's soaking in his final year in a place and with people he'll always treasure.
I know a lot of people are excited to go to college, and I am too, but definitely the friends I've made, I'll miss them when I go to college.
In Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Did you know you can go on a tour of lights in Brooklyn Park? 28 households submitted their address to the city to be included on the light tour, and you can see a map online or pick up a paper copy at the Community Activity Center. As we go to break, we'll leave you with one of the houses on the tour. Happy holidays, everyone.
It's Christmas, he's on his way. Christmas, it's Christmas.